Happy Monday, y'all. And on this Goku Runner Talks podcast, we have Jose Arroyo. He is a runner from Houston, and I filmed him for his 100K ultra marathon. In this episode, we'll find out more about him, Houston's running culture, and a lot more. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, so welcome to another Goku Runner Talks podcast. And today I have a guy who's actually been a pretty good inspiration to me. His name is Jose Arroyo. Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for coming on it today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on today, Jeremy, aka Goku Runner Talks. Glad to be on the podcast for today.
Thanks. I met you over at the Freaks Running Club, and that's the first time I saw you. I remember it was the railroad tracks where I saw you, and you were like the leader. It seemed like it to me. So I decided to go up and talk to you, and ever since then, we've been friends. And then I actually recorded you for your run too when you did your 100K. But before we get into all that, I want to know how you started running. Why did you start running, and how did that all come about?
So I think so. I've been on and off probably for around 4 or 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to a lot of the breweries around here, and they were actually, I think, one of the first places that started having like brewery run clubs. And some of them, like Eureka Heights, Holler Rollers, they used to give out either a free beer or discounted beer. So I was just like, man, $2 off every beer every Thursday. That's a steal. And then this is also like before COVID, so
Yeah.
it's beers went for like $5 or $3, and the more and more you started meeting like other runners, the more you start meeting about other run clubs such as Freaks,
Yeah.
and it's almost like you get attached to the people, and you're like, maybe I will go out on a Friday night, and slowly you start finding yourself doing 5Ks, 10Ks, ultras, marathons, and especially the running community has always been welcoming to me.
Yeah.
And as you said, like at the Freaks Run, one of the things I always take my pride on is just try to say hi to everybody, just making sure people know where they're going. Just like you can see, Freaks meets at a different location every Friday. Same thing is just making sure that people are making it back to the bar or wherever we're at.
So before that, why did you start running? Were you just athletic as a kid? Did you play soccer? Did you play football? Any of that?
Yeah, so my background, so I did track and I did high school football.
Okay.
But yeah, the running part was just coincidental. It just
Mhm.
slowly started making more and more friends into it. And like I said, I really grasped into the community to where I was like, man, these people are really hanging out. At first I was like, these people are crazy waking up for their long runs at 5 a.m. And now I'm waking up at 4 a.m. as well.
Yeah. I was trying to, because in Beaumont the running community is small, and the businesses don't really they don't see the advantage of having like runners at the run club. So I'm trying to tell pubs over here or bars that you should give like a discount or something, that way people will come. That'll draw them in, and then they'll buy one drink, and then they'll buy two drinks, three drinks, and then your pub will do well, the running club will do well too. But they don't see it. And in Houston, I think just about every brewery has a running club. It
Yeah,
seems
and I
like.
think that actually took some time because I feel like the breweries were some of the first places to take runners in cycling, also cycling. But now I feel like they're seeing the impact that a lot of these run clubs are having, like say Eureka Heights, Holler, Under the Radar, Sigma. They see that, oh, okay, like even if we're gonna have a low turnout, you are gonna have your run club, and usually you have your casuals, and that between 10 to 20 people that wouldn't have gone there, but
Yeah.
now it's like part of their weekly routine. It's like, oh, on Wednesday I'm gonna go run with this group, or so yeah, it becomes almost like a community.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I want to build over here too. A community of running. Like I see like just the run club I went over there, the one I met you at, the
Hmm.
Freaks. I was like, man, there's so many people, and everybody's enjoying each other's company, and everybody's just friendly. Like you could talk to any runner and just chat them up. I also saw that you joined a singles running club. Was that a thing in Houston that I saw one time?
Oh yeah, that was more of a that was that running wrist thing. It
Uh
was where people they met up somewhere over here by Buffalo Bayou, and it was
huh.
just like that was a promotion is find your pacing mate, find someone that runs with you, and see if you if y'all can mingle, if y'all there's like if you ever make that connection with somebody else. So yeah, I mean at this point there's like a niche market for everything.
So did you find any single runner ladies over there?
Oh no, I was just in there. I was just more just like you said, just building community and just building connections with people. Because anywhere you
Yeah.
go, you're gonna meet. You obviously you're gonna go there. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna talk to people, and then honestly, it's one of the big things of how people learn about other run stuff as well. As you're talking, oh, which one are you doing tomorrow, or what are you doing Friday, or are you doing? Do you have a long run this weekend?
So you went from 5K to 10K, and then you jumped to a marathon, right? What was your first marathon, and how did that experience go?
So I actually have the worst training plan or anything. Um, yeah, the first one I ever did was a half marathon. I once
Okay.
trained to a half marathon, and that
So
was
you didn't
me
do a
when I
5K or 10K?
no.
No. Oh wow. Okay.
And this was more again, we're at a brewery run club, right? You're after
Yeah.
a couple of drinks, me and my buddy, and I'm like, I was like, man, anybody can do a half marathon. You know me, I'm a dog, blah blah blah. And then that night, I ended up signing up for it. So when I woke up, I was like, what did I spend money on? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing the Houston half marathon, and this was in 2022.
Okay.
So, and it's honestly that's pretty much the story between how I with the half marathon, with the marathon, with the ultras. It's always like someone pushing each other, or if you do it, I'll do it. So like every long run, every ultra I've signed up for has a backstory to it.
Yeah. So basically, you did it to prove to others that you could do it, right? Just
Yeah,
go out there.
and then so what really helped out with that is just like you said, it's just proof to others, but it also instilled like an inner confidence in me. It's just
Mhm.
like, man, if I really train more, if I take this more serious, like my time can get better.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things is you take pride and finish these races, and you're just like, what else can I do? Like, how much am I limiting myself to?
Yeah. Yeah, that's like whenever I did my first 50 miler, and that was Rocky Rec. Well, this is actually my second one. I swore I would never do another 50 miler, and then I won a free race. So I was like, you know what? Might as well do the Rocky Raccoon 50 mile. I had a choice to do the 50K or the 50 miler, but I was like, the 50K I could do, and I'll be able to finish it. But the 50 miler, I don't know if I could do it because I haven't trained. And I went out there, and I did it, and I was, that's something to prove to yourself that you could do it. Even though I wasn't trained, I was super happy that I was able to complete it. And then, that it's just something inside you that makes you proud of yourself. That's what I love about running. Like whenever you cross the finish line, it's like, a point of pride that you did it. That you actually did set
Yeah,
out to do what you're supposed to do.
no, yeah, and it's for me, it's one of the best things when you're running out there too. Like, there's a pain or whatnot, but you're also focused.
Hmm.
One of the things that I take pride in is just I'm going to finish, I'm going to finish, I'm going to finish, and you just keep pushing. You take whatever break you need, you get your water, and you keep going. Just your feet keep moving as long as you can.
And what is your mindset with running? Because I see a lot of like a David Goggins stuff in you, and you seem to love that mindset. What is your mindset for running and keep going, especially when you go longer distances like the 100K that you just finished this past was July, August?
Yeah. So I really don't have that much David Goggins instilled in me. On social media, I will say like, "Oh, the dog's coming out there. It's a
Yeah,
bad day to be a trail run," but it's also just that's more of a putting out there to the world and just being like, I am that person. But when I'm out there too, it's just as much as I enjoy doing that, it's just you have to put that in your head. It's just like you said, like you're gonna finish. Because like any negative mindset, I feel like
yeah,
will hurt you a little bit. You will start double thinking. To whereas if you just have such a positive mindset, that will push you that extra mile. And
yeah.
that's what I've noticed. Like, anytime there's negativity, you slow down, you start overthinking. To whereas you just brainwash yourself to say that no, like this is serious, like this is my time, let's go.
Yeah, I think I have trouble with that too myself. Like whenever I'm doing the hundreds, I just I DNF that. I got a little negative, and then it just builds up in you. Like the more negativity in your head that you let in, it just keeps growing, and then before you know it, you're slowing down, you're walking, and you just can't push yourself anymore. That's what one thing. Like I just went on a 10-mile run yesterday, and I was thinking about your 100K over at Habanero. And Habanero
Mhm.
is a race that starts in the summer in Texas. And it's 100+ degrees, and it's one of the toughest races out there. And you went out there and did the 100K. And can you tell me a little bit about that? And what was your plan for that race? Because 100K at Habanero is no joke at all. It's a
Uh,
serious race.
yeah, so the backstory on that, again, it's I hang out with a lot of other ultra runners. But one of the things is I took on this mindset a couple of months ago. It's just, hey, I'm gonna do habanero. Like, you want to go running with me or whatnot? And then we ended up with a big group out there.
Hmm.
But it was a good way for me to train in the summer and have like that extra mindset. Is training at all times. Is knowing that you're gonna take on 100K. And if you're on social media, if you're a run club telling people like, hey, this is my next project, this is my next goal, it really instills pride in you. And that's how I did a lot of my 2 p.m. runs, 6 p.m. runs, shit, 12 at night runs, 2
Yeah,
a.m. runs.
yeah,
But yeah, on the day, my mindset was just, again, just finish and just listen to the, what I call almost professionals. Just listen to the people that have experienced it before, see what they have to say, and just how you're going to use that to your advantage. I mean, 100K was the longest I've ever gone.
mhm.
But just when I'm talking to everybody, it was just, yeah, it's a 6 mile loop. 3 miles is the first aid state, is an aid station. You go back, and it's just, like I said, it's that mindset. So this one, actually, I think I did a decent time.
Yeah, you did awesome.
Yeah. And then backstory to the one, the Rocky Raccoon, that was actually my first ultra marathon.
Mhm,
That
mhm.
was that 50 miler. The longest I had gone before that was just a marathon. And that one, I take pride in that one for the fact that I finished with about 6 minutes to spare.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. That's like me. That's literally me. That's what I see. That's why I like you. I see a lot of you and myself, and I
Hmm.
love your back of the pack elite. That's what you call yourself, right?
Yeah.
And you also call yourself a hybrid athlete because you know when I feel like people hear hybrid athlete, they think of the person with the six pack, you know, muscled out, and uh like I think I'm a hybrid athlete too. Like I may not look like Nick Bear or any of those his friends that he works out with, but anybody can be a hybrid athlete, and you know that's why we need people like you and myself to show
Yeah.
that there's different bodies out there that run and do these crazy distances. Because you know some of the comments on your race was like on our race, the one that I filmed, they're like, I love seeing you know, bigger bodied athletes out there doing it because you don't see that. So that's why I wanted to, you know, share that story as well.
It's like, yeah, it's like one of the things on that is just at most run clubs, like you said, there was always a stigma that you have to be fast, you have to be fit, that you have to have a certain type of personality, certain type of body build, and that's 100%. I don't agree with that because you go to most run clubs you go to, everyone's friendly, all pages are welcome,
Yeah.
and it's just getting rid of that stigma. And I think more and more people, especially in the city of Houston, are seeing that now, and that's why you're having the explosion of a lot of run clubs. It's like you'll have like a 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, 4 mile
Yeah.
group.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I
then
think before when I joined Houston, it was probably 10 years ago. I went to a group and I was talking to somebody, and he was asking my marathon time. He's like, "Yeah, what's your marathon time? I don't respect anybody who doesn't do a sub 4." I was like,
mm,
"I just did a 4:58 in Houston." And so he was like, "Oh." And then I was like, "Damn." Then that's why I wanted to start my own running club over here in Beaumont, because I didn't want that elitist kind of attitude. And now, like you said, in Houston, you don't see that anymore. Like you said, there's like a 1 mile loop that people could do. They're not trying to make you do, you know, the 5K your first run. So it's very like beginner friendly, and you know, and there's so many people. I like that Freaks Run Club. I think there was over 100 people. And then I talked to another guy. He has a run club. He has like 250 people. He just started like a couple weeks ago, like a couple months ago.
mm,
It's really exploding over in Houston, and it's great to see.
yeah, there's a lot of massive run clubs now. Like you said, like Freaks is Friday, so you have 100 plus. Cookie Crew, that might be one of the newer ones. They're also now averaging over 100. Good guys. I want to say they probably have like 300, 400 on a Wednesday. So that's
But
just it's like the explosion is so big.
But let's get back to your habanero, and then I'll like you said that for the habanero, it's a 6 mile loop, so you have like every hour and a half, every 2 hours, you're gonna see the your crew at the beginning again because there's just so many loops that you have to do 15 loops, I think, right? And
For the 100K was for us was 10 loops.
yeah, yeah, it was 10 loops for you guys. So that's a lot of time to actually stop, talk, rest. But whenever I was filming you, I was amazed that you never stopped. Like you kept going no matter what. Like, and when I was running my 10 miler, I was like, I need to be like Jose. And because we're both signed up for the 100 miler in Rocky Raccoon, right? Have you signed up yet?
I've not signed up yet. I've recently got plantar fasciitis,
Okay.
so I've been doing a lot of weightlifting and cycling, trying to hopefully get rid of that.
Yeah.
But that's one. I want to make that my first race where I'll tackle on my first 100 miler.
Okay. But yeah, I need to be like you because last year when I did the 100 miler, I rested a lot and I felt like, I'm back the pack elite just like you. So if I'm stopping for 5-10 minutes, that's adding another whole minute to my overall pace,
Yeah,
which I can't afford, especially for the 100 miler where you have a time limit. And if you're going 15-minute miles to start with, every time you stop, you're 16 minute and then 17. And then before you know it, you're right up against the time limit. So why did you decide to keep on going and not rest despite the time, despite you having plenty of time to do it because your time limit wasn't as strict as the 100 miler.
So for me, I was actually blessed whenever I first started running that I met a lot of like really legit runners out there. Like one of the ones was Regina Massengale, who's always doing 100 milers. She's doing ultras,
Yeah.
and she always just gives out advice. Honestly, she's one of the first people that actually got me when I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do the half this year." This after I already done it, and she was like, "Why didn't you do the full?" And I was like, "Whoa!" It's like you can. So you think I can do that? She's like, "Yeah, of course you can do that." And I was like, "Whoa!" But same thing. I always take advice from her, and she said like, "Yeah, anytime you're doing an ultra, go to the aid station, get what you need, and then go." She's like, "You don't want to make a living at the aid station because that time accumulates."
Yeah.
She's like, "You just get what you need, and then you keep going on the track and just keep pushing." She said, "Just if you're there too long, it's a lot. I've seen people miss cutoffs for that reason."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, I was so impressed, and I was like, man, I need to be just like you, and that's what when I'm running out, that's what I'm thinking. I want to be just like Jose during his 100K because, man, I was like, are you gonna rest? You're like, yeah, I'm gonna rest for a little bit, and then next thing you know, you're out there running with with Wajon, and I'm like, you didn't even stop. You said you were gonna rest, but you kept on going, and you did have a good time. I think what'd you finish at 18, 19 hours,
I
which is
was 20.
20 hours, which is awesome for that the heat out there. And and like again, you had time to rest, but you didn't. So, man, I
Yeah,
was really impressed by that.
for that one, my second goal for that one was try to beat the sunrise.
Hmm.
Because I was just like, if I get in before 8 a.m., I was like, I'm not gonna face the second sun again.
Yeah, that heat. Yeah, it was tough out there. So, was there any point of struggle during that race for you? That because it seemed like from the outside watch, like looking from the outside, looking at you, it seemed like you had a pretty like decent race. Like you had no real issues.
I think that a lot of the struggle was just mentally, and I just felt like a lot of my body just stiffened up.
Hmm.
So like there was times where you try to like jog or anything, and you can only push it for so long that your body's a little bit like, all right, walk again.
Yeah.
But and I'm a strong believer that just listen to what your body gives you and just go with that. So like you said, like I wasn't chasing cutoff or anything, so I was like, if I need to walk, I'll walk it. If I can jog, I'll try to jog because I am trying to reach a certain deadline. But it wasn't. I was never out there in panic mode or anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're out there, like you said, you're jogging, you're running. You see the sand 10 times. You see areas, and you're just like your mindset just. There's a lot of times you see the sand, you're just like, oh, not again.
Yeah. That's why that race is so hard. Like I don't think I would ever want to do 100K or 100 miler out there. Uh, I did the longest I did at Habanero was a 50K, and that was at a longer loop. That was the first year that they ever held it, where only one lady finished the 100 miler, and there's everybody else DNF'd. So yeah, awesome for you. But you also did have a big crew out there. What group was that was with you?
So the big one I was with was the Houston Coliseum Runners.
Mhm.
So that's like where they're based like out of Alief, Texas, almost like West Houston.
Yeah.
But yeah, they always bring big groups out there, especially for the trail runs.
Mhm.
Because I mean, those guys are fast. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
though they're good on the road race, but they're also like really good on the ultras. And but their support is always awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I saw the group, and then I saw their little aid station that they had at their tent. It was bigger than the aid station that they had at the main aid station. I was like, man, they had so much. They had food. I think they had sandwiches. They had a little bit of everything, which you probably never
Yeah,
saw because you never stopped.
there was even a massage guy in there. When I finished, I started seeing everything else, and I was like, oh, I was even a guy in the back just massaging people.
So is that the main running group that you joined? Because I remember I talked to you and you said I should join the Coliseum running group. Is that your main
So,
club or?
so I consider myself a hybrid runner. No, but that's so I do a lot of run clubs. It's not just like one specific one. I
Mhm.
do like meeting up with different groups, talking to them, learning about them, and then figuring out what races they're gonna do, what races am I gonna do. And it's almost like it's just one big collab. 'Cause the city of Houston and a lot of people do this. It's like we're a big community. Like if we're going somewhere, it's just like, hey, let's link up. How can we work with each other? How can we help each other? Do you need a pacer? You know, someone that needs a pacer, or what can I bring to the trail run? And like you said, that's one of the biggest things, especially with this group, is like, do we need pizza? Do we need food? Like, what do you need water? Do you need help breaking down, setting up?
Yeah, yeah, they were awesome. So, what is a week of running for you? Like, what's the run club schedule for you normally for like a week? Like this week, what are you gonna do tonight through Sunday?
So usually my Mondays will either consist of Cucky Crew in the morning and then River Oaks, Fleet Feet at the PM, and that was at 6. Tuesday is usually my track workouts, and that's where I try to get some like, more speed in. Wednesday, that's when I do timeless runners. That will shift like at a different location, depending. Usually, since we don't like to have like the Houston Marathon has like the Allen Parkway hills, we try to do some hilly areas too. Thursday, I usually do my own workouts,
Okay.
and that's just like hill work, or that's just like doing just something different to try to work on different muscles. Fridays is freaks. Saturdays is usually my off day or when I go to the weight room. And then Sundays, I do my long runs.
Oh, wow.
And my long runs can consist of 8 miles to 20.
Wow. So, are you running right now? You said you had plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, so I've been resting this for about 2.5 weeks now. It's getting slowly better, but my different thing now is going more to the gym and cycling more to
Mhm.
try and keep that fit going.
Yeah. When I injured myself, I think I forget what I had. I might have had it's just bad shin splits or something, but I remember I went on the bike and I just kept on doing my endurance work over there, and I actually had a pretty decent marathon when I returned. So the bike will definitely help you keep your endurance. So yeah, keep it up. Yeah.
Yeah, because one of the things I've also that I probably should have listened to my body more is take some time off after some of these long runs and let your body recover, let your body rest.
Yeah.
No, like as soon as I finished Habanero, the next day I was already doing my recovery run.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, okay, endurance work is done. Now let's work on the speed work.
Yeah, yeah. You
Like,
were
yeah, your
doing
body
a
takes some
yeah,
time.
that's why I was amazed. You were like you were in Austin like the next weekend running that little relay thing that they had over there too. And you were running you weren't even like taking it easy. You were running fast. Like you did that relay and I saw the video where you were just sprinting down that street.
Yeah, sometimes my mindset is a little cocky,
Uh-huh.
and that's where you're a little bit just like, all right, I'm gonna push it, I'm gonna push it, and yeah, it's something you have to know what your balance is.
Yeah.
Like now that I'm getting older, hopefully a little bit smarter, I'm gonna be like, you can go watch people have fun. You don't have to partake in some of these activities all the time.
Yeah, I saw you you were cheering on some runners at the half marathon. You were running with the flag. Is that the Monstros flag? What flag was that?
Oh no, that's a Freaks flag.
Oh, that's a Freaks flag. Okay.
Yeah, so the whole Monstros thing is it was the Freaks logo with a mustache.
Uh-huh. And then what is the monstrous? Because that's what people call you too. They're like, hey, monstros.
So the Monstros, so that was a whole like an inside joke. And whenever I first started running with Freaks, after a couple of like months, I created another Instagram account called the Monstros. And all I did was add like a mustache to the Freaks logo, made the eyes a little bit weird. Um, I started adding a bunch of like the runners that do Freaks,
Uh-huh.
and then I would just post the same location but 1 minute earlier. And I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna start a run at 6:59, not 7. We have stuff to do." And some of those guys were just like, What is this?" I was like, "Well, I don't know. Like, guess some guys like going to the same spot that we're going." And then like over time, I fessed up. I was like, "Yeah, that's me trolling y'all."
Yeah, that's funny.
And then, but over time, it took on a name of itself because other people that weren't on the inside joke were just like, "Yeah, that's Monstro. That's his run club."
Oh,
You
so they
know,
thought
or
that
like,
you were the Freaks Run Club, basically.
yeah. So they were just like, "So what's like? When do y'all meet up at?" I was like, "Well, really dope, but I mean, I run Friday with the Freaks." They're like, "Oh, so it's not really a run club." I was like, "No, it's like a parody," and they're just like, "Oh, man, that's a good one."
So what's this merch you're dropping? I saw you dropping some merch. You have a singlet that's coming out.
Yeah. So one of me and my good friends Mitchell, we've been talking about it for a while now, and it's just like we look at a lot of the gear that they have at some of these stores, and a lot of it just seems like basic. It seems so. I kind of want to add like some touch up that give like the city of Houston. It's a lot of runners when we run. I mean, you haven't seen the singlet or it's not on this right here, but it's like you go like this, like you throw it up the H Town with pride. So on
Mm-hmm.
the singlet itself, it has that.
I saw
So
that.
it's almost just to bring like it's bring some creativity to. I feel like to an area that hasn't had it yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're working on a couple stuff, but yeah, good thing for so Mitchell's actually he's working on singers for other run clubs as well.
Okay.
So we're thinking that in 2025, that's going to be a space that's going to really take off.
What do you mean space? The singlet or the merch
It's like
space?
the merch area because, like I said, like there's not really anything that has like Houston on there, or like almost almost like an urban type of style, like
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, yeah, because yeah, you're right. I think a lot of like the people that are creating that stuff are getting older now. Like so we need the new blood. Like even me, like I started I'm taking over the bridge series, Texas Bridge series and Seabrook. So I'm like looking at hats and socks and everything for the runners and we want to bring something different than what they were doing because those guys, they did a great job, but
yeah.
uh, a lot of it was looking too cartoony or too old, or we wanted to look a little bit more at times that we are in right now. So yeah, I can see that. You might have to hook me up with that with your friend so he can create some merch for me too.
No, yeah, he's really good at designing himself, and he's also building connections with like Runner, uh, Rocket, Run Rabbit.
Oh wow.
I mean, like I said, like we want to really create a space where you're with CLE or all these companies. They're like, hey, I have this design, I have this. How much? What's the turnaround?
You
Because
know
like I
where
said,
you
like
should
it's
go
just
to if you're really serious about doing that is the running event over in Austin. It's happening. Have you heard of it? The running
yeah,
event?
I think it's November 9th, November
Yeah.
18th to the 20th or something like that.
Yeah, it's a week. It's a weekday. So during the weekday, but it's a good event if you want to talk to any and every running like business out there. They will all be out there, and you can talk to them.
Yeah, actually, I was planning on doing that. I'm still on and off, but it's 2 weeks away, and I'm like, this is a good networking space.
Yeah, and it's only like $90 to go to the just the like the convention part.
Hmm.
So and you'll get shoes, you get free shoes, you get free gear. I walked away with 5 pair of shoes last time and like 30 pairs of socks. So you'll get your money back and you'll meet a bunch of people. Like the networking is the most important part about the running event for sure.
All right, I'm sold on that one. I'm going to go there now in two
Yeah.
weeks.
I'm telling you, go. I tell everybody if you're in the space, you definitely have to go to the running event.
Yeah, you made a good comment about like the space being a little bit older, and like you said, as much as they created this space, they were able to do a lot of good things. It's like now we're coming in there with a different mindset, a different, we're raised a little bit differently. It's how can we make something a little bit more marketable? How can we? What else can we add to these things? It's, it's as much as we love some of these 5Ks or whatnot. There are different areas that could be marketed towards. I
Yeah,
mean, there was a lot of running events that I did last year, 2 years ago. That I know those are really like a lot of younger folks, but now there is.
yeah,
And there's like, I think more and more people are starting to realize it's just like these are cool events. It's just people aren't being. It's I guess they're not being reached out to just yet. But I do know that there are more and more people coming up with marketing, like advertising. So yeah, like this is like that next step that a lot of people are taking now.
yeah. I talked to some race directors too, and they had they were in the mindset of racing. Like they wanted racers and racers only. Like I even talked to them now that they put on like races that were 50 year old or 20, 25 years old. And they're like, we don't they hate walkers. They don't like anybody walking or going slow. They only want the fast people, but they'll take them, but in the back of their head, they don't want them. So it's a different mindset from now. Like if you go to Houston, it's about having fun at these
Mhm.
races, and
Yes,
it's a lot of people don't even care about their time. So you got to have a good environment for people to enjoy themselves out there, and then I think that's the way that you should market nowadays to people.
and I think that's a big impact of why people like you said, people back in the pack elite runners, as we call ourselves, it's important. Is people feel like they can approach to us more because we're reaching out to them. Like you said, like you can run fast or you can run slow. We're going to give you a high five when you're done because it's
Yeah,
the same distance.
yeah,
It's we all take pride in that.
yeah.
And that's a big community aspect that more and more people are, especially after COVID. It's now they're out, they're about, they're moving, they're being fit, and they're accomplishing goals that someone thought they didn't see themselves.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. But so you should definitely go to the running event. It's something that I preach to everybody, and I feel like that's a place that you're gonna find a lot of good connections to go to. But uh, what else is up for you? Are you besides Rocky Raccoon? Are you just focused right now on plantar fasciitis and healing that? And are you signed up for anything else in the meantime?
So yeah, so I am focused on healing that, but I wanted to actually do Bandera.
Okay, that's before Rocky Raccoon. That's
So that one I want to actually do the 50K, and I
yeah,
heard that's what I heard because this is a really like tough course,
yeah.
and that always just excites me a little bit more. Of it just people are like it's a tough course. I don't know, and you're just like all you see is all right. It's a challenge. It's I just now I need to focus on what's going to be my training plan. How am I going to get there? And then once you're there, you let your body loose. You let everything loose, and like it's like your mindset is
So
you have to believe I am that person, and it's like let's go. And even with this mindset, I've had a lot of people reach out to me just like some of these times like it's a big inspiration seeing people like us out there and do these things, and like you help me push to be more the runner I am too.
yeah, and it's amazing how it's not even just the slower people. It's like the fast people will come up to you and be like, "Man, you're an inspiration to me," and that's what
Yeah.
really like. I'm like, "Whoa, what? How are you getting inspiration from me when you're like running 6 minute miles or whatever?" So that just goes to show the story and your mindset is what really brings people to want to like to that's what brings inspiration to people. It's not about your pace. It's about you wanting to reach your goals, and that's what's bringing that mindset. But Bandera, that's a hard race. That's got a lot of like the caliche stones, so a lot of loose rocks over there. I haven't done
Yeah.
it, and that's a race that people have been telling me to do. Is that before or after the Houston Marathon, or is it the same weekend? Because I know last year
So
it was the same weekend. I mean, my friend did it on Saturday and then did the Houston Marathon on Sunday, which was
mm,
psychotic.
yeah, so this week is actually the week before the Houston Marathon.
Okay, huh. I might have to sign up for that because I do need to do races too because I'm kind of behind on my training for the 100 miler. Uh, because I wasn't gonna do it, but my girlfriend was like, "Jeremy, you can do it. I believe in you." And I was like, "Fine, let's go do it." And then after she pushed me, and then when you have somebody that believes in you, then
Yes.
it's easier for
No,
you to do it.
and that's a big thing, especially with the community, right? It's just like sometimes you'll doubt yourself,
Yeah,
and then you'll have people just like, honestly, bro, like this is your year. Like you put the training in it. Like what's the worst? Like you might DNF. I was
yeah,
like you have that grit, you have that mindset, and it's just, if anything, it's gonna show you what you need to work on or how can you improve.
yeah, and yeah, and that's why I liked filming you guys too, because I got to see your community over there and get to know everybody too. Because before that, I mean, I knew you a little bit, Jose, but I didn't know your community. I didn't know your run club, and then also the other ones that I filmed too. So it was good to see how that community actually come together. Because before I would just say hi and bye, and it wasn't that much of a conversation. But getting to film you guys and seeing everything was a different level of getting to know you guys. So it is really cool. And a lot of people come up to me and they're like, "I love that video that you made," and it's all about everybody was like the back of the pack elite runners that I filmed, and you were the elite of the back of the pack videos, and
Yeah, you're just
you
like, I
impressed me.
take
I'm
pride in
telling you,
that.
I'm impressed by you, Jose. You inspired me for 100%, and moving forward, I'm just about not stopping and keep on moving forward without trying to rest too much, because I know you were in pain during that race and you kept on going, and I was like, man, if he can do it, I could push my mind and body to do the same thing. So that's what impressed me. But Bandera is something that you're going to train for, and then anything else, or are you going to how long do you think your plantar fasciitis is going to affect you? Have you tried different shoes? Have you tried those night splints? I know they have that too, and icing. What have you been doing to actually treat it? Or have you got
So,
diagnosed or what?
WebMD.
Yeah. Well,
No, yeah. So I've tried icing it. I've done some workouts, and it is slightly improving. It's just from what everyone tells me, everyone gets different areas that it hurts or different. They had different solutions to it. Some say run a little bit more,
yeah, yeah,
and some are just like just let it rest. But it's just honestly just listen to my body. What my body tells me, just go to the weight room a little bit more, work on some of those areas, and it's listen to yourself. And when you have that grind mindset, you get better. I feel like.
yeah. I've been like, is it on both your feet or just one foot?
So just my left foot.
Just your left foot, yeah. Yeah, I'll get it everywhere. I got it because went to the Taylor Swift concert the last weekend with my girlfriend. I got a lot of hate for that for some reason. People hate Taylor Swift. But anyway, I was standing for like standing will cause my plantar fasciitis to act up, and we stood for 3 hours, and I kept on sitting down because my plantar fasciitis was acting up. But uh, like some activities like that. But every once in a while, I'll get it. But I just rest and massage, do all that kind of stuff. But it's different for everybody. Because everybody's body is different.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out what works for you. So hopefully you'll get that done, and you'll be running, the 100 miler with me. I want to be at the back of the pack with you, and I'm sure you'll be ahead of me because I know you're a beast.
Oh no, we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be grinding. We're gonna be shining. We're gonna be looking good out there.
Yeah, my goal. So what is your goal for what's your pace goal for the 100 miler if you run it this
I
year?
have not looked at that much details yet. I just want to get a good training plan in there.
Yeah,
But that's actually something I did learn over time, especially with like as I start focusing on these longer runs. Is before I just want to finish,
yeah,
and now it's a little bit okay. What goals do I have? How do I plan to tackle this? What time constraints do I need? And which I've learned that yeah, it's a good thing to have plan this stuff ahead and not just wing it.
yeah, yeah,
Although
yeah.
it has worked for me once. I mean, I was like I said, 6 minutes away from DNFing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. My goal is I think I want to keep a 50, probably 15:30 pace the whole way, and then that'll give me time if I do slow down. Because last time my goal was 17 minutes, which I think you could go at 19:33 overall pace to finish the 100 miler because we have 32 hours. But
Yeah,
I want to be farther away this time rather than too close because man, I felt mile 75, well, mile 60s to 80, I felt every single second creeping up on me. So
Yeah.
that's a bad feeling, and you know that feeling from doing the 50 miler too. And Rocky
Oh yeah.
Raccoon, that back loop that you have to do, I hate that loop so bad. It's like a little bit of elevation that doesn't is unrelentless at that point.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was because when I was like 10 miles away, I remember the A station volunteer was just like, "All right, you're about 10 miles away. If you keep a 16-minute pace, you won't make it there." And I'm just like, "I have 10 miles to go at not to keep pushing."
Yeah.
You're just like, but like I said, that mindset just keeps pushing you. Obviously, I had a pacer, so he was able to keep me on track. But yeah, it's tough out there, and it's like, you gonna give up, or are you gonna go, or like, yeah, I mean, you've been there. Like, you have so much going on in your head, and something you just got to eliminate this and just keep moving.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you could be like, I could DNF right now, I could quit, but that doesn't push you. But the thing about it surprises you how much your mind can push yourself once you think you can't give anymore.
Yeah,
So once you know that there is a time limit and you could beat that, then you find yourself running faster than you did miles. Like you were doing the 50 miler miles. 30 to 40. You were like you were going slower, but miles 40 to 50, you picked it up, and you're like, wow, where did this come from? So at the end of my 100 miler, my DNF, I picked it up, and I was like, amazed by my mind. So I can't
mhm.
let my body, tell my mind that I can't go further. I have to tell my mind to tell my body to keep going and keep pushing, because your body can do it if your mind tells it to do so.
And then I would also, like I said, like, I thank the community, the crew that we took out there, because there were, I mean, whenever you have something that big, that much support, in the back of your mind, you're also pushing it for that, because as much as you're saying that you're doing this for you, you're also doing it for them. You're doing
Yep.
it for your pacer. You're
Yeah.
like, my friend took time off. He took wasting his whole day going to Huntsville just so he can pace me like the last 10 miles, and you're grateful for that.
Yeah.
And in the back of your mind, you got to keep going. Like, I train with this group. Let's make the team proud. We got goals to chase.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, they're out there for so many hours, especially for the 50 miler or 100K or 100 miler. They're there for almost 30 hours plus waiting
Mhm.
on you, and you can't take that for granted. And that's when you have good friends too, and good running
And
friends.
then one of the
That's
things I
why
was
you go
great.
to the community and make those friends, make those connections, so you could have good friends like that.
Yeah, one of the things I was really grateful for was, like I said, like, by the time I was done, a lot of runners or people had left already, but the group that I took was there. Like, we were still in a pack. They were just waiting for me at the finish line with cumbias playing. As much as I was just like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I just finished 50 miles, and now you wanted me to dance a little bit. I was just like, all right, y'all waited this long. Let's go. So you just do your little movements and you just hype up the crowd. But yeah, like I said, like, we all take pride in that, and we all take time. And it's just a community aspect really pushes you. It gives you that extra mile.
All right, all right. So I have one last thing for you to do. Or actually, do you have anything else you want to say? You have anything else you want to share with everybody on the podcast before we get to the last thing?
Um, Obviously, what I would say is just your community, your crew, the people you hang around with. That's a big part of, like, what goals you're trying to get. Is whenever you're doing like these 5Ks, these 10Ks, if you don't want to take it too seriously, you can have fun out there. It's like no one's really judging your time. No one's
Yeah,
just like, oh, this guy's here again or whatnot. And
yeah,
then the same thing, like, if you want to push it, have it in your mindset and just keep working on your craft. You're not always going to reach your goals, but every day that you're improving, you're improving.
yeah,
It's how can you become a better version of yourself. Sometimes when you have doubts, honestly, sign up for that race, sign up for that event, and look more into it of what did I learn, how can I take, what else can I do better. But yeah, like, and what another thing, like, shout out to the Houston running community. There's a lot of leaders like my boy CJ with Houston Coliseum. He's always out there. He's pushing. I mean, at Habanero, he's at the 50K, and then he finished with like 80 miles, helping pace like a bunch of other runners that he didn't even know.
yeah,
So, like, one of those things, like you said, like, you watch people finish their goals. So shout out to people like CJ. Shout out to people like Patrick with Freaks. You know, it's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that people aren't seeing. And I just think this era that we're in is really going to flourish 2025, 2026, and we're going to continue to see more and more people be more active. Just you see it on social media. It looks fun, it's great, and people are having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Yeah, it's about pushing yourself and having fun while doing it, and having that community around you to support you, and that's how you go far. You could do it alone, but you go far with friends and support for sure.
Yeah, actually, one of the when I first started running, I had this marathon that I called the Vasset Main Marathon.
Mhm.
Backstory on that was my good friend Chris. He went on Strava, created a 27 mile, and he called it Vasset Main. And we were just like, I was like, what does that mean? He's like, I was like, all right, well now that's now the Vasset Main Marathon. So this actually, I woke up one day at 5 a.m., started running it, and my pacing for that was about 19-minute miles. And like I said, it was just sometimes do what you do what makes you happy. But it's a journey out there, man. It's just you can take it easy, you can take it slow. It's just the biggest thing is if you're not having fun, then what else can you do, or how else can you fix it? But
Yeah,
just
yeah.
have fun out
Find
there.
something else. Some people always say, "I hate running." Well, if you hate running, do find something that you do love because,
Mhm.
maybe running's not for you. The people that love cycling too. So
Yeah,
you find what you love, and then find your community. And
yeah, because it makes it a lot easier. Like you can take that pain when you're just I enjoy being out here. I enjoy just having being with my thoughts or just listening to a podcast, listening to music, and then you're done. You're like, oh, I'm about to eat the best meal I've ever wanted.
we gotta talk about that too because I remember talking to you. You said after the Coliseum runners, you go out to Bel Air in Chinatown and get some grub afterwards. And I love eating. I have my own Beaumont foodie little Instagram page where I go around eating a bunch of food. So definitely next time I'm in Houston, I'll have to take you up on running and then getting some grub. I see you go to food trucks and all that fun stuff as well afterwards. And you're doing a lot of like
Yeah.
the cumbia dancing. You said is like the next big thing also. So I'll have to take you up on that.
Yeah, like I said, well, because that's like the movement's everything, right? So even like cumbia dancing, you're really shaking and moving. But that's a workout, especially in the Houston heat.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've done salsa. I haven't done cumbia yet, so I'll have to bring my girlfriend out, and she probably knows how to do cumbia. Myself, I don't know. You can teach me.
Yeah, it's like you said, like so you have to find different ways to reach out to certain people. Like someone just be like, running is like cumbia. You got to keep the rhythm, you got to keep the motion going, and it's how to reach out to other people on what ways they can follow up on this.
All right, we got one last thing, and it's called this or that. So you just choose
Hmm.
this or that. So one is going to be burgers or pizza. I ask people that all the time.
I'll say burgers.
Burgers. What's your favorite burger over in Houston?
I think right now my favorite burger joint probably
Have you ever been to Burger Slut? Some people talk to me about that.
I've not been there, but that's like about like it's a bun slut, isn't it?
Bun Slut. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Okay, I've been there. That was pretty good. That was I know I've had it at the underground hall. But as far as burgers go, I think Gatlin's. No, it's not Killen's Burgers.
Okay, the
The
barbecue
one with the
spot. Yeah,
barbecue place.
yeah. All
Yeah,
right,
so that's in Pearland. They actually do have a burger spot out there as well.
all right. The next one is going to be trails or roads.
Trails,
Oh, trails. That's easy, man. You get no. Wow. So you're a full on trail runner now.
not full on, but I enjoy just going out to the trails like Sam Houston State Park or going to Austin and doing some hill work out there. I mean, I went to Lockhart State Park when I was, like you said, when I was in Austin, and when
Mhm.
you're running out there, deers were just popping up.
Oh wow. Yeah. Definitely more hillier over there, right? It's like some
Mm.
hill work. Next one is going to be solo running or group running.
Actually, I as much as I enjoy group running, solo runnings where I'm with my thoughts, and it's just
Mhm.
like I said, I'm planning my day. I'm game planning. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna eat?
Yeah, I agree. I got a treadmill recently. I've been running on that, but when I'm on there, I'm on Netflix, I'm on YouTube watching. And yesterday I ran by myself, and like you said, you could be alone in your thoughts and just think out and work out everything that you need to be done. So I do like solo running, but I like group running too. But solo running is definitely, you know, it's a therapy, right? That's the therapy
Yeah,
time.
so solo running, that's when I like do my workouts. Group running usually when I pick up like, yeah, I'll pay somebody or I'll be the sweeper. And because most like everybody enjoys the sweeper because that's the one that makes sure that everyone makes it back safe. That's the
Yeah.
one that just checks the whole route and everyone's oh nice people out here.
Maybe I'll get you with the balloon people for Houston. You can become the new balloon person. I think you'd probably
Oh
be
man,
awesome.
I'll be out there. I'll just be dancing and moving and all. Let's go, we got this. Don't let me catch up to you.
All right, the next one is music or no music during your run.
Nope. If I'm training music, if I'm on the course of myself, no music.
Okay, yeah. So when you're racing, you have music or
No,
no music? No
no
music. Yeah,
music.
yeah. I like to talk to the people. I get distracted by stuff. But if I ultra marathons, I actually do use music because sometimes I don't want to be alone in my with alone in my thoughts when I'm out there for so long. I get that's when the negativity creeps in. So I got to keep some positive podcast or something.
Now, usually I'll have a pep talk with myself, especially in the mornings, and it's just like, it's a blessing to be out here. You put in the training, you put in your time. It's how do you now? Let's go and let's prove everybody right that let's prove all your believers right.
All right, and then the next one, the last one is going to be medals or buckles.
Buckles,
So you have one buckle. You need to get the second buckle,
yes.
right? Yeah, me. I think I'm the same. I have one 100K buckle, and I need that 100 miler. So hopefully in February, you and I will be out at Rocky Raccoon getting that buckle, and then we could congratulate each other at the finish line because I know you'll be out there and your crew will be out there.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a good time. So let's get it. Let's
yeah.
get it. Heal up, man. So we could get this Rocky Raccoon. I want to see you out there. And you are a big inspiration to me. I'm telling you, you were one of the big inspirations when I. That's what left me at Habanero was how you never stopped. Like you just never stopped. And I was like, this guy keeps on going. So keep on
And that's
going on to your next challenge, man.
and that's one of the things that I really enjoy about this space is that you said like I inspired you, like you inspired me as well. I mean, you're always busy, you're doing your runs, and I'm just like the part of my entrepreneurship side is just it comes out more with seeing people like you, like if Jeremy can do this, Jeremy's doing this, Jeremy's doing that. Let me hop on this space as well, and let's all just work with each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, even Wade John one time told me like Jose, you inspired me with all your running. I was like when I first started out here, I wasn't like shooting all these reels, I wasn't doing this, but just making this space so inviting. It's now we're doing this, now we're doing that, and it's we find inspiration with each other.
Yeah. Shout out to Wei Zhan. That dude is everywhere. Like I know you run a lot of running clubs, but I think he runs every
Um,
single one of them, right? He can't be beat.
Now, Wade John was doing 120-mile weeks for a while, I think.
Oh my goodness, that guy is yeah. He's like, I ran with this group, and then I ran the second one in the morning, and then at night I ran with this group. I was like, geez, when do you sleep, dude? He's a beast, and he just
Oh yeah,
completed the New York Marathon in like 3:22, something like
330,
that,
yeah, 320, I think, or
or
somewhere
3:30.
around there. Which
Yeah.
for me, Wade John is just, which is crazy because I think he's even faster than that. Because I'm gonna ask him like, do you ever just like push? He's like, no, just whatever I enjoy, man. And I was like,
And he's only been running for a short, like after COVID, so not too
yeah,
long, not too long. So, shout out to Wei Zhan. He needs to be on the podcast too. That's what we need
yeah,
to do.
you need to have that. That he will have probably have a lot of stories about how his schedule is, what his plan is. Actually, Rocky Raccoon was actually his first ultra.
Oh, really? He did the 50 miler out there with you?
Yeah, he did the
Oh,
50
wow.
miler.
Okay, cool. So, me and you, 100 miles, February. Let's do this, okay?
And now I'm adding Wade John. Wade John, you're signing up for the 50 miler now. I mean, for the 100 miler
Yeah,
now.
Wei Zhan's in. Wei Zhan, Jose, and Jeremy. We're all in for the 100 miler. All the Johns. Say he's John, Juan, Jose, Jeremy. All right, man. I appreciate you on the podcast. Thanks for being on it. Again, you're an inspiration to me. And how can people find you if they want to find you?
Instagram, the dude from the H.
To that dude from Houston, basically, right?
Yeah, the dude from Houston. Everyone's like, man, that's a good name. And I'm like, I just came up with it just like that. And I was like, oh, I love it.
I actually never read it until today. I always read it as like dude like it was just the last part never because it was all together. So I
The
never
dude
read it
from the
separately. So until today, so that is a very cool name. I like that. But yeah, thanks for being on the podcast. I appreciate you. Catch up with him, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Later.
All right, what a great guest Jose was. I enjoyed talking to him for sure. Make sure to catch up with him on his socials. And don't forget, every Monday we'll have a new episode of the Good Corner Talks podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share this one so that it can be seen by more people. Hope you guys enjoy this one. We'll see you guys next Monday. Peace out.